So, hello everyone, it's time for a gaming anime. You know I love my video games. Playing some video games right now, right? Mostly Nexus, Guilty Gear, definitely, you know, my X-Low. I'm ranked 10 for that matter. Supposed to be more Twitch, but yeah, like in Guilty Gear, the best thing you can get is ranked 10. So I'm top like Grandmaster League or whatever in Guilty Gear. But I usually still win pretty easily, honestly. I don't say that to brag. I'm playing at the highest rank in the game, and I'm like, man, most people suck ass, and I'm just like, it's pretty boring. It's honestly pretty boring. There's some people still don't give me a challenge. But I'm playing extra low, right? So if you master extra low, it's like some people, when they finally get to me, it's a fighting game, right? And they finally reach me, they can do this like half my life at least in one combo, right? But more people just can't get to me. It's like I can win with like perfect against many people sometimes at the highest rank because you just can't touch my extra low guys. But anyways, obviously I like games. I worked in the game industry, you know, 10 plus 15 years, who cares, right? I'm an old man. I worked on, you know, games from like, you know, Call of Duty, Hearthstone, Disney Infinity, bunch of different games. I worked in indie games. I worked on app games, right? All the different stuff, you know. Done different roles, mostly, of course, different design roles, lead game designer and so on. Design, directing, UX design, directing, and so on, all different fun stuff, right? So this anime about a video game developer, of course, I'm like, yeah, it's like me, but a loser, because obviously this is like loser version of me, but I would never do that. I would smash every woman when I was 20. So this anime is like, you know, it's called like Remake, right? It's a time traveling anime. I think he only will time travel once though. I think it's gonna go back in time. So we're gonna have this and Revenge on the same day. So we're gonna have two. Well, last season we had Revenge and I guess Vivi, so we already had it. But yeah, so we're gonna have time traveling double twice per day again, right? And but for example in Revenge, right, that I watched every weekend review and so on. In that anime, he of course keeps going back and forth, right? So last week he now he has to time travel again, right? It was very predictable, I would say, in that anime. He has to do what happen. And he will, of course, time travel back again, right, to try to fix the future. So it goes back and forth, right. This anime here, I think he's just gonna. I only seen the trailer and the premise or what. I think he's only gonna time travel once. Like he's like a video game producer or designer or whatever, right, programmer, something developer in the industry, and you know he has like a loser life because he never, you know, had a girlfriend or never had, family fun time, to speak, right. He never did that. So I think he's gonna time travel, or for some reason he's gonna time travel, right? And get back in time, and then of course be all like, oh yeah, the ladies, you know, basically, right? And try to, you know, smash these different chicks he went to school with. Which is completely unrealistic, because if you go to a video game engineering school, there are no chicks there. Maybe, yeah, isn't a woman at school? At the companies there are no ladies, and it definitely are even fewer at the school, man. Like when I went to engineering university, right? My class had, 90 male students and like 5 female students. And the next year after me, it's about the same. The 2 years after me, for the same kind of, course things, same kind of program, they had 2 female students and like 100 male students, yeah. My co-highs, yeah, that year. 2 female students. And both of them, one of them worked for EA immediately when she finished school and so on. So that's not a video, but yeah, it is. Let's just be honest. If you're a woman and it's super easy getting a job. It's gonna be how it's gonna be, right? Because they're always gonna be like, oh shit, it's always like, well, it is honestly how it is, right? There is like, yeah, it's yeah, because it's just so much. Less competition, right? Let's see. When I worked at my last game company I worked for, we had like 30 employees and 1 woman, yeah, 1 female. For when I started there, as first employee, and we started there, and then we hired a second female, about around that 30 or so. So there was like 1 to 15 male ratio, and then that woman got like, well, I guess canned or fired, or whatever you call it, and then we hired another woman after her though. Quite rapid after her, so for a while I went back to 1 female because she basically got fired. Yeah, she was like just She was terrible at the job though. She was terrible. She was basically like, she was one of those person that the owner didn't fire her, but he was like, you know, he basically fired her, but you know what I mean? She got fired and I wanted her, don't get me wrong. Not because of her gender, but she was terrible. She was just incredibly terrible. Nothing to do with her gender, she was just really bad at the job. Horrible at her job. It was like her first job after college, and she just sucked at it. Like, she was just terrible, like zero talent. But anyway, so then that's why I hated the owner of the company, because I wanted, you know, to fire her, right? I was like, let's not, you know, continue her contract, right? She failed this like initial start period. She's horrible, right? So I was like, get her out of here. Let's take someone else, right? Because yeah, she was terrible. So we did that, and that of course is good. Like, we just like, yeah, we canned her, right? As should be, right? You know, I care about, you know, effectiveness. But the owner of the company then, he's gonna explain this to the other employees, right? Kind of, you know, a town hall meeting, kind of talking to the other, you know, the 20 or so employees at that time. He's like, oh, she decided to quit because she didn't like it here, and she's gonna. And I was just like, what do you mean decided? We fired her, right? He's like, no, she wanted to quit. And I was like, you know, that's why I hated that. That to me is just so, it's a side story, but I have, you know, hundreds of weird stories about working in game companies. But I just remember that one of my, it's a minor story. I just remember it so much because it's just so silly. He's like, yeah, we canned her. Like, no, I mean, she quit on her own accord. We liked her. I was like, why can't you tell the truth? She was horrible. Like, yeah, like, if I was the owner, I would be like, we fired her. She was horrible. Like, we hired a new person. Yeah, like, because that was happened, right? But he's like, oh, I don't want to admit that. So he's like, oh no, she wanted to quit or something. Which is so silly. But anyway, long story short, this premise doesn't make any sense because there would be no female student at his school or at his work, right? Come on, man. Like, there's no woman in the game industry. Like, there's 1 in 10% something, 1 to 20 maybe at max. But that being said, though, before I watch the episode here, I'm gonna explain it, right? It is fair to say, though, like, that I wouldn't see you as a terrible loser if you work in the game industry and you just never smash, because honestly, and I'll not do smash, but I mean generally, like, this is a guy, the premise is like he's a game developer, right? He worked, you know, went to college, and then he got a job, and then he never managed to find a girlfriend, right? Working at like some game company. Honestly, working at game companies is truly the worst place. Like, it literally is the worst place to try to meet someone, right? If you want to meet if you want to meet a woman. If you're yaoi, it's the best place, right? Because everyone's gonna have, it's the best place, right? But the worst has to be if you're like if you're a woman into other females. That has to be, if you're a woman into men, then it's super. Yeah, that direction is the best thing, right? But if you're a woman into other woman, you're gonna be like the only woman there, right? You're never gonna. And actually, whatever. Yeah, but you know, I shouldn't say that. But I had a coworker, and she was, she was a lesbian, and she was the only female coworker at that. I had exactly the situation. I had a coworker at like one company I worked for. She was the only female employee. She was a lesbian. Like that's not fun. That's not fun. But anyway, this guy, I guess, he never managed to find anyone. Makes sense because he's a game developer. He never find ladies, and now he's gonna time travel and try to smash his college friends that he probably wouldn't have in reality because there are no female. There's so few of them. It's like it's like a double episode. I think a little more than double even, but basically double episode. Gonna react first person here, gonna be a long video. After this we do the final Shadow House, and then we're doing Realist Hero, and also then more on Revenge, also time travel. Yeah. So anyway, let's watch this intro of dating in the game industry. Don't do it. No, but it's really horrible. Like, it's really horrible. But yeah, it's definitely. I mean, this is not the video to really cover that, but I mean, generally, right, from a statistical standpoint, a lot of people do actually meet, their love interest, right? They meet the love interest at, working at different, the company, the work. Yeah, it's a very common. It's a very, very common thing to do, right? To actually meet your love interest, right? At the job, right? Like, it's super common. It happens not to everyone, but it's a very, very common thing. It's super common. So I don't know if it's the most common thing ever, but it's really, really common, and that's one thing that definitely doesn't help you work in the game industry because it's so few people that you're gonna meet, right? So you're gonna reduce your likelihood of finding someone, right? It really is. Let's watch the element or see if it dwells on that. So 3, 2, 1, and yow! Let's see this anime talks about that, but I guess it's gonna be something on that. that he's like, well, I haven't seen a single woman in 30 years. I've been working in the game industry my whole life, and I haven't seen a woman. It's like one female coworker, and she's already married. She's in love with my best friend, yeah. I hate drinking when I stream and so on, but it's just incredible hot here. I say for 3 weeks now, it's really hot. Hot is much hotter than yeah. No, but it's hot. It is. You get this a new game, I guess. Yeah, probably his game company's new game. Yeah, no one likes it. Yeah, so I guess it was a bad company too when no one likes the game. It's another sequel. It's an Arrow game, yeah, they're like, Arrow, it's an etchy game! Oh, boys! They're like, yeah, come on. He's like... Plot remuneration. Ooh. Etchy, definitely. Yeah, so it's like a Nico. It comes flying by, right? It's a gamer, eh? Sorry. I should have drank that because it got in my... he got in my freaking... in my oxygen, it got in my... I got it in the wrong can. Oh my god. I can't speak, sorry. No, I took that sip of juice there and it got into my... it's called my truck, yeah. It got into my air vents. It wasn't good, man. It wasn't good. It's really painful now. It was not good, seriously. Not what I had planned. Like, suffocating here. Like it really hurts in my throat, seriously. I got that all in the wrong place there. Oh god, it's like a saw right here. Anyway, nothing's happened yet. It's just the main character, being depressed, right? Yeah, I guess it's like, that looks like... No, that was like Island. I mean, it's Mortis Island. That was freaking the main character of Island. First I was thinking 86, but no, this was Island. Wasn't it? Like, straight up. That was like... Yeah, the girl stuck in... that really looks like Island. I haven't seen that anime in ages. That was a weird anime. That was a weird anime, guys. That was a really weird anime, like seriously. That really looks like Island. Yeah. I'm gonna say, what? Island? Sorry. So, but seriously, that's because that really got in my yeah, that really hit me in the wrong place there. Like I'm dying. I shouldn't laugh about it, but I'm just like, holy shit, man! I can barely breathe. Live streaming. But he's like a depressed loser right after he. Or maybe it's like Hotimoto. Oh, for some hen stuff of you. Onishan. But he probably got the Hotimoto right. So that's gonna be one of his love interests, because why not, right? It's anime. Oh, he's letter of acceptance, I guess, to his school there. But that is like really like, I mean, you usually not see anime kind of being so obvious, like, but that looks like Island, like this game, Island, anime. It's called Island. It's simply right. Visual novel. It's like a game and an anime. Up to by feet. Who's the writer of that? Narusa Arasa. Now I'm thinking maybe he's the same writer to Disney. I don't know. I saw like, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely the Island. Yeah, it's a girl from Island. And it's like, that's her with the hat and so on. Yeah, I was like, I never seen Island being referenced in any other anime ever. So in the review part, we're gonna go back to that and look at it. But yeah, nothing's happened so far, seriously. Like, what is this in anime? Something's happened, honestly. Oh yeah, of course this girl in Platinum are gonna be hot girls. Yeah. So I guess it's gonna change. I guess that's the time traveling thing. It's gonna change what he went to. Instead of going to engineering school with no girls, he's gonna go to hot creative school instead, I guess. That makes sense, actually. I also get that I didn't go to philosophy school and just, could smash all those chicks there right now. Oh, you like Nietzsche? Oh, I also like Nietzsche! And now he's time traveling. Here we go, time travel, baby! Got a cute Immortal, right? She's also a love interest character, definitely. Definitely. Immortals are always in the love, man. You gotta love your Immortal, man. What's wrong with you? Yeah, Immortal. Respected Immortal. Don't you love your Immortal? Like, what's wrong with you, boy? Would you not love your Immortal? But yeah, so now I guess you can pick another school there. So he picks the hot school where all the cute girls are. It makes perfect sense. The anime makes perfect sense to me. He's gonna pick the school with hot chicks instead. Yeah, he's like, I went to engineering school, but I could went to art school with hot chicks with all the babes are. This guy, I get it, man. He's clearly right here. Should I jump? No, he probably might understand, but she's clearly one of the hot chicks in the anime. He clearly misunderstood. She probably just had, pain in her heels. Yeah, she was like, oh, it's just. But this is obviously a cute, meet cutie love story here. She's gonna be like, you tried to save me. I respect that. Yeah, she's like, you tried to save me though, so that's pretty kawaii. Maybe I can be your girlfriend, right? Man, det sounds very familiar. What's it there? But yeah, so game company instead. So here we go. Very corporate. Yeah, zzzz soft, like Square soft, I guess. Are they making JRPG games? Yeah. Are they making those JRPG games maybe at that soft place? Maybe. Maybe, right. But here we go. Great way to get a job, yeah. Saves her life. Kinda. Saves her life. Saves... Younger than him? No, come on, man. Like, there's no way she's younger than him. She's just hot, though. She's just attractive. She's just hot, man. She's an idiot. She's just attractive. She's younger than me, but what? No, she's attractive. She's just a babe. Like, what is wrong with you? What? I'm just like, she's younger than me. I'm like, what? No, she's just very attractive. I don't think that's the same thing. What? This guy's a moron, man. What was that? I mean, seriously, he's like, oh yeah. I was like, what? No. Ari? Because he can just do Excel sheets. I don't know. It's like, I'm labeling this stuff in folders. Look at my absolute techniques here. Yeah, I put the stuff in right order. She hired a guy that can do it. I don't know. I say ordering stuff in, put them in shelves. This guy is clearly an engineer, man. Thing. He's like, yeah, you ordered the stuff. It's like, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, it's like that can't be that hard. Honestly, like what did he do? He's like, I fixed the stuff at the office, like put them in the right folder or something. So I guess he's a producer. Yeah, not the creative role I talked about earlier in the anime. Yeah, spec guy, Krav spec. Yeah, he's a producer clearly. Production guy. Production is not that fun. I wouldn't say it's that fun, no. I have to say though, this is a special here, right? What am I doing here, guys? This is boring. Maybe it's gonna get more, I don't know, etchy later. Right now, I feel like I should leave this stream and go and do something else. It's like nothing's happening. His boss is pretty hot though, she's an attractive manager, but I'm just like, I can see what is a special episode because nothing's happening in the beginning. The biggest thing for me was that island popped up. That for me was the biggest thing. Nothing is happening right now. I'm just like, wow. It's like... I mean, what's happening? I'm just like reading people's comments. I'm like, what's happening? Is something happen? I don't know. Maybe eventually. I'm just working harder. But the thing is that it's not very good either to explaining the industry, right? Because it's just like, oh, I have to call a guy who's angry with me. Yeah, like it's not a good explanation whatsoever of working in the industry. That's not reality either. You don't sit there and be like, I have to call a guy, you know, oh yeah, late tomorrow. Like that's not how you work anyway. So I mean, it's like the most shallow. It's the most superficial shallow way anyway to basically explain working in a game company anyway. But it's super boring in that sense. So it's just like, it's going great or something. Where everyone is fired. This would be very realistic. Everyone is probably fired. Yeah, okay. Now it actually start. Now the anime gets realistic. Everyone is fired. Like, okay, this is a game studio. This is a game studio. Okay, yeah. This is a game studio where they suddenly have no money or something. Where it's like, everyone is fired. I just go home. Not me. Yeah, like this is just. Yeah, this feels like a game studio. Now this is video gaming. Exactly. They only care about damn app games, social games, stupid game companies. Now this feels real. Now we're getting real here. It happened again here, yeah. Well, this woman though is probably gonna be important anyway. Though she's a hot babe. She's gonna be. I wanna make kawaii magical girls. Yeah, that would be my dream, right? Instead of being a boring producer or something, I wanna make kawaii magical girls. Took like almost 15 minutes for this episode to start, I feel. There he got fired here. Yeah. That's life, man. That's basically how this works, though. Yeah. Everyone gets laid off at that moment. Now they make it realistic. Like, seriously, this is actually now. Now I feel it's like a video game company, yeah, where everyone just got fired for no reason, basically. very commonly. So that's like super realistic actually. And I guess now it's gonna time travel. So now the episode starts. Yeah, now episode starts, right? Like the diverging into the other reality where you pick to go to a creative hot school with cute girls instead. Yeah, this Platinum. Obviously, Platinum actually gonna be this hot waifus, right? We see in the trailer show, obviously. Very obviously, the Platinum generation are the waifus. Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, if there's anything obvious in anime, is that those chicks are gonna be hot babes, right? Yeah, that's the. If there's something I know about anime, if it's one thing I know about anime, it is one thing. Is that these waifus are babes. Yeah, the Platinum games are gonna be waifus. Now I find a time travel. Yeah, it took us like 15 minutes time travel, so it's good this special episode here that's longer. Yeah, and she's all kawaii, clearly one of his love interests. Yeah, a decade ago. Nishan? Are you a time traveler? Here we go. Episode finally starts at 50 minutes. Yeah, I could talk about 50. Instead of watching anime, I could give you a lot of stories about crazy game companies for 50 minutes. Yeah, that was not that very good. Yeah. Oh my god, only one family of zero. That's a good novel though. Classic. Seto. Classic anime, man. Tsundere for life, man. Tsundere anime. It's a very good anime. I like how he knows his time travel. He's like, oh my god, where's all my anime collection? But I like he knows the time. Yeah, like he knows it's a time travel. He's like, oh my god, what happened to my manga collection? Yeah, it's like my novel collection. And now he finds like time traveling, baby. Uh-oh. I'm going all L0 on it. Oh shit! Yeah, so now the episode actually starts, right? But I think the episode could have started with him basically getting fired. I think the episode could have started a little faster, like meeting the hot boss, right? And then getting fired, like just immediately. You could have shrunk those first 50 minutes to maybe like 3 minutes, something like that. And then getting him fired, and then kind of like, I wish I never worked in the game industry. I wish I never went into this horrible industry with no hot chicks and no job and so on. Here goes the opener. So basically, yeah, the anime is like those first 10 minutes or so are basically just a prologue that are pretty boring, right? Yeah. Even the anime knows it themselves. The opening comes here at minute 17, right? So even the anime knows that. That was crap, yeah, that was crap. But I guess he's gonna meet the boss, of course, the hot chick. She's gonna be also part of, she's gonna meet her at school, right? Of course she is. She might be the true love interest, though, I feel. Kinda his, kinda definitely fell for her in the future. And I guess some friend there too, I guess there's some yaoi, I guess, yeah, some cute guy, right? I'm gonna add some video, I guess. Well, yeah, so instead of being a video game producer, it's gonna be like some kind of art director or something. Oh yeah, here we go. Opai's beach episode. Here we go. Now the anime starts. Yeah, beach episode, baby. Here the episode. Here in the Now it's like, oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah. Now this is anime. The beach episode. Interesting. But it feels like the first half of them is basically just filler. I don't know, but this is kind of super long because now the episode actually starts. Right, he time traveled, but they could. But I said by saying that they could easily have shortened down the prologue to like 3-4 minutes. This didn't have to be 50 minutes. Yeah. Now we're going isekai on this. Isekai, baby. Yeah, and of course he's changed than what he picked, right? Yeah, and of course he's changed what he picked, said. Very much so. Very much so, baby. Like, who's producing this anime? Feel. Yeah, but isn't that the same they did Island, right? That I was thinking. Yeah, Hinamatsuri... Satakun Island, yeah. Thinking that, they're saying the Island, right? Because I was like, why? Yeah, I've never seen Island pop up before in my life. In any other anime, so... That explains that. That's what I was saying, right? The same company was doing Island, yeah, I was thinking that. This is what I was thinking earlier, that they are the one behind Island, yeah. So I was right on that. I was thinking, there has to be some reason why they're showing off Island, right? This is like, no, come on, it's Island, like, it can't just be... It has to be for a reason, certainly. I knew it. It was Island, yeah. This time I didn't die, yeah, good. I mean, last time I basically choked on that. That was horrible. Why am I laughing at it? That was serious, like, call someone to the Heimlich from nowhere. That was like horrible. That was basically pretty painful. I coughed for like a few minutes there. Okay. Yeah, you gotta get the natto. That is like, you gotta eat a lot of natto if you go to college, very important. Sport drinks and natto, yeah, it's like very important. I drink a lot of, you know, I drink a lot of these kind of like protein shakes on, yeah. Instead. The obviously is gonna meet these famous people, right? They're gonna be hot, attractive. They're the waifus. They're clearly the waifus. I've seen anime before. Like, I know my anime. They're waifus. Like, it's pretty obvious that it's waifus. Like, who else would it be, right? I keep saying it, but yeah, like, who else would it be? Seriously. Like, but still, though, who else would it be? I'm saying, like, who else would it be? Like, because, you know. Also, he does time turn back, though. Pretty booty. Oh, this sounds good. Maybe she's dreaming. What's happening? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, like, is he dreaming or is he time traveling? It's more like a dream. This is so quick paced. Okay, maybe he's time traveling to his old age, and now he's like a... Yeah, now he's like an actor instead. This is honestly kind of confusing. She's dreaming. Huh. What's happening? Oppice! Oh, here we go. Now the anime really starts. Hot ass, Oppice. He works that with Oppice. His new wife. Here we go. Oh, I've seen this before. Oppice. Yeah. Yes. It's one of those error games. It's like it's one of those hand games. Yeah, I've been here before. I know how this goes. I played games before, I know how this looks, you know. Kawaii! Kawaii! Of course it's kawaii. And she's all like, kawaii, she's like a cute boy. Good asset and Oppice. Here we go. Now the episode really starts. Here we go, boys. And she's all like, let me go for that stuff. And she wants this natto milk. I guess she just probably went into the wrong room or something. She's this weird neighbor that like goes lost, right? Classic, you know, waifu character. It's a kind of clumsy girl that takes the wrong door every time. Yeah, she wants some milk right in the morning. Some, you know, some milk, yeah. Some juice in the morning. Oh yes, I'm your neighbor. I'm lost or something. And there we go. Oppai falls. Very nice. Now I feel the anime. First 10 minutes, nothing happened. Now it's anime, man. Girl falls into his lap, right? Gets some milk in her up eyes. Yeah, and here's the other characters appearing, an other girl, right? Looks like she's giving him, you know. Yeah, she's just a weirdo. They're like, okay. That's so weird. Okay, They're like, right. Okay, so that is his new friends then. Nanako. She's gonna be one of those platinum. Yeah. Popular Gyro. He's like, a Gyro character, nice! He's like, I like my new life, a Gyro. I get this man, he's like, yeah, a Gyro! This life is awesome! I need a Gyro in my life, yeah. Everyone needs a Gyro in their life. It's like, this is a Gyro, very good. New life is awesome. Yeah, pretentious swaggy name. Etone, stop fighting. Koya Hashiba. Yeah, what to do with that girl in your bedroom? Here we go. Yeah. Could you explain how you got milk on that girl's pies, huh? No, she's just a weirdo, it's not my fault. So she'd be asking the other woman instead how that happened. Yeah, she'd be asking the girl instead. Yeah, and there's a milk accident, she'd be asking her about. And she's like, yeah! She sits there like, it was awesome! Like, why is she asking her for? Why? She was the one on top of him. He was the bottom anyway. This I have to say in the animator, though. Like, why? Because if he was on top, I would be like, okay, maybe she's angry. But she's the one, she's the culprit, clear. She's over him, right? So I don't know why he's angry at her. Yeah, there's a weird scene, I think, honestly. Because usually the guy is the one, you know, kind of bothering whatever at the girl, right? Call me Aki. I am Aki-chan. No, listen to me! Don't call me stupid names, stupid people! Yeah. My god. I'm dying of heat stroking. Man. I was at the gym, right? Just threw off my shirt. Yeah, it's just so hot. It was me, some old guy. He was also topless. He was fat and old though. It was not very oppai, no. It wasn't Genki, man. But I still feel much have happened though. I mean, it was fun, classic ecchi horror anime, right? The guy gets into a bedroom with one girl, accidentally gets milk on her, you know, the other girl is confused about it. Yeah, like so far, I feel that's like the main things happen. He's been time traveling and he's like getting all into got a little horror ecchi moment there. Oh man, she's an Aqua character. Yeah, she's Aqua! Oh my god, she's like an Aqua character. She's like, oh my god! Yeah, playing with that, what do they call it that? She's like, oh. White per se? Yeah, some evil snakes, man. Art Hill? Oh yeah. What's so impressive by that? It looks like I saw with the final boss! So let's kill the open room happening. It's one of those boss rooms. I see. Oh man. Yeah, just typical college, you know. A lot of space, rooms. Usually it's like about 100 students per class, right? But they call it for colleges. Oh, they have seats still? Okay. That's a thing, eh? Huh. Oh, this is the guy in the opening, definitely the muscle guy in the opening. Yeah, it's actually brute strength. He's a biff in the... He's a hunk in the opening. Nice, man. Yeah. Got his, muscular friend there. Nice. He kind of a Genkiro, yeah, Genkiro. He's like, I'm Genki, yeah. He's like, I'm Genki, girl. Yeah, like, yeah, okay, nice, yeah. He's clearly the best character. Do you like sports? He's come on, this guy, the Shad guy, he's clearly the best character. I love it, man. He's like, I'm Genkiro, I'm Genki. Very good. Well, yeah, why does no everybody stocks? It's always come to this when you watch his anime. You're like, oh yeah, he's like, he knows about who's gonna win in the games, like sport games. Maybe Udane is gonna win. Yeah, he's like, maybe this guy is gonna get better in the future. He's like a two-way player style, yeah. You know, you always wonder, why can't we ever have a time traveling anime where someone's like, I'm back in 2006 again? I'm gonna buy some Apple and Amazon stocks. Why can no one ever do that reaction? Oh, it's gonna be she's the hot babe. Here we go. Hot babe! Yeah, it was an opening. Yeah. Hot Professor Babe. Hot Sensei. Very young Sensei. He's like, wait a minute, is it her? Yeah. Looks very similar, right, to each other. But I mean, they go into like a art, so obviously this Sensei can be like a young 12-year-old or something. Because they're going to, yeah, they're not going to like, you know, history, they go into like art school, so the Sensei can be like a 12-year-old. Like in reality. Naruhodo indeed, Naruhodo! You're all losers. Oh, here we go. You're up there. Gairu, yeah. Kipachi! The blonde, yeah. Kipachi, yeah, that's good. You, me, Gairu girl? Yeah, you're Gairu. Ettone! Oh, she sucks at it, of course. Gairu. Bad stuff. Eight. This is like it's like tots. This is like the. It's like Soma. Yeah, this is the hardest art school ever. Everyone fails. It's like about money instead. This is to go to money. People get hungry. This is the money part instead. Yeah, you have no money. You're poor art students. You're gonna make no money. Losers. Yeah. You're gonna have no, you know, bank money. You know, this kind of stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have no bank money. Yeah. Man, that's horrible working in the game industry. Your salary is crap, man. Unless you get up to like the CEO kind of roll up. You have a bad salary up to get to lead. Yeah, everything under medium kind of thing has bad salaries. You can make money off being stupid. Oh, that's the woman. She can clearly. She's definitely good at market economy. How can you make money being an idiot? Let me explain. Yeah. It's like, interesting, yes. That's true. How do I make money being an idiot, Sensei? She's like, oh, I can teach you. It's all in your head, boys and girls. Yeah, it's like, yes. Yes. But he was like a producer, not to be that guy, but that's clearly the worst job in the game industry. No, but it's probably the least creative job in the game industry, honestly. Well, I mean, just like, you know, from comparing to game design or art or whatever, or VFX or something. So in that sense, though, I am wondering, like, from being like a game producer, it's like the management role. Like, he kind of going into the least. He kind of had like, he had the game industry job. That's probably the least. Oh, here she is! Here she is! She said, come on, this is a true love interest. It's her, the boss. I'm not a chief yet, but one day I will be. Here we go. She's the real love interest, right? Come on. He's gonna. This is the girl. He's gonna smash her, right? But this I kind of like it though. This I like though. Yeah, she's clearly his real love interest. Come on, he's clearly gonna seduce her, right? That's the girl he was, the boss he loved. You know. Yeah, come on. The man and good woman he was in love with. Yeah. It was, I mean, I said it earlier, I said it like 5 times, he was clearly gonna end up with, you know, meeting her again, right? His boss, right? Both her younger, right? So now he can seduce her and become her husband in the past, right? Like, that feels like a very obvious end to the storyline, that he's gonna, you know, yeah, be with her, right? That is his end girl, right? That seems very obvious. But I mean, I said it earlier, I said it before the time travel, that he's probably gonna end up with her, right? Clearly, she seems to be the main love interest by far, right? Certainly, like very obviously. I would say, I mean, I said it even before we saw her. I was like, yeah, she's clearly the love interest. You know what I mean? I said it immediately. I was like, she's the love interest. She's the really love interest. If you know what I mean. No, but I was like, who else would it be, right? Like, of course she's gonna reappear, and she's gonna be younger, and she's very attractive, and you know. She's like a hard director. She's like a very stern director, right? Maybe she's like the best director ever. She's like a natural genius. Yeah, she's like the hardest. Yeah, she's an imposing, badass director immediately. That's the chief for you. See, he's in love with her. He's in love with her since his past life. Come on. She's clearly his love interest. She's the end girl. If he doesn't end up with her, I'll be very confused. I mean, come on. He clearly had a thing for her before time travel, right? And then meets her again. What are the odds, you know? So of course she's gonna be the love interest. The real love interest. The other girls, it is harem or like whatever, right? That is their bonus chicks. Yeah, it's a guy after all. Of course, she's taking it all easy. It's a guy who's easy. Guys are easy after all. I mean, makes sense, right? They're easy characters. Yeah, like, he's like, take it very easy. And keeps thinking about Chief. Oh, she's so imposing. If everyone was like her, I keep thinking about her all the time. He's like, man, that woman, like, that lady, man, she got it going on. He's like, yeah, if everyone was like her, it would be. He's like, man, what a woman. You know, yeah, he always keeps like, ah, oh, that's a woman. Like, that's an impressive lady she is. Yeah, like every goddamn scene, man. He's like, oh, what a babe. But why was she like a game producer also? Because she's appearing as a kind of genius director. How did she become a game producer or like a game manager? She was like a, yeah, she was like the game director. I suppose she was a director. I suppose I guess, but she didn't feel like she was like a creative director, like just like a production director, right? More like, you know, on the management side, or not really caring about. But she seems to be like a genius, you know, creative person. So yeah, you're a mean but creative. Yeah, he's like, I like you. Yeah, you're a man. You're a spirit. You got good spirit, good guts, girl. You know, and you're creative. Yeah, and creative. And this guy is like, what? Why I'm here for? Yeah, of course. Complications. He probably knows though. He's like a genius guy. Yeah, he's like a sleepy genius, you know. Very archetypical character. The sleepy genius. It's like, oh, all of them are easy. Yeah, it's like this thing. The classic, you know, like, oh, well, what am I doing here? I'm just a genius guy. They're in every anime, basically. Yeah. Of course, that character. The sleepy genius guy. No, yeah, sorry, it was easy. And whatever. Like, yeah, and it sleeps again. Oh. Yeah. I don't know why I care so much about what the others are doing, or you're like competing against them. Honestly, that doesn't make much sense normally in college, because in college it's like, I don't care if you pass the exam, it's about me passing the exam, right? I don't really care about what people doing it, right? It's not very competitive entirely in the college, not until you get to like the end of it, right? But in the beginning, which kind of like it's on a pass the courses. In the end, maybe you do your thesis or whatever, then you might get some competition, right? But in the beginning, it's like it's gonna it's like the first month it's gonna pass the exams. You know, doesn't really matter if you pass the exam. Like it's not like we have a war. Yeah, she's like, I don't care, man. It's just like it's just words. It's a lot of words, yeah. Who cares? Yeah, but he went to some other school. He went to like game production school or something. He doesn't even have the same. I mean, he's like, my 10 years should be portable. He can buy stocks to that, but yeah, otherwise he didn't really like work for the same thing anyway. Yeah, he didn't really do this like college. Like he didn't go for the same. So that really makes it harder for him anyway. Though he's like, yeah, like I never really studied this art stuff anyway, so. And she's all like, oh my god, you're sold out, you're clearly a time traveler. If she was Akun, she would be like, you're a time traveler. If it was Akun, she would have been like, time traveler, Ray, I can see it in your face. Oh my god, that was so ridiculous in the anime. You're a time traveler! I can see it on your face, man! It's like, what's happening? Yeah. How do you know I'm a time traveler? Doesn't make any sense. But, oh, I can see it. I can see it. I can smell it. Smell of the game, you know. It's like, what? How did you? What's happening? Oh yeah, muscle guy. This guy is clearly the coolest guy in the anime. Come on, the cool, the tough, yeah, tough friend, man. Is it the cool? Yeah, he's like, yeah, hot senpai. I get it, man. He's like, the hot senpai? I heard they had a really hot senpai? That's what I heard. It's like, yeah. This guy is clearly playing college in the right level. It's like, where's the hottest girls? I joined the club with the hottest babes, right? Yeah, he's joining the club based on oppai stats. It's like, this is the only way to play college. I didn't do it in college, but definitely in a high school club, purely based on the female club members. Definitely. Who hasn't, right? Who hasn't? I guess these are new club members. It's all the ladies here. Yeah. It's a party. They're all art students. This is clearly like the lamest school. No, but not to be that guy, but they're clearly, you know, artificial people, so they don't really care about rules. They're not like engineers, man. They're not gonna care about who's in the club or whatever. They're like, yeah, party time, baby. Honestly, though, that's probably how most of them are gonna act, right? They're gonna be like, yay, party time. Usually how it is with those people, yeah. That kind of clientele, eh? Seriously, though. Usually how it is. But yeah, she's all super touchy, man. She's all like, oh yeah, cute boy or friendo. She's definitely into it all the time, right? Every goddamn time this woman is in the anime, she's all like, oh yeah, let me sleep on you. Yeah, accidental oppai grabs from her, right? She's very, I don't know, carefree, I guess, about the interrelationship between two students. Yeah. I gotta give a piggyback, right? It's all like a Toro again here. Oh, here we go. How can you be the same age? Is she an Akun? Does she have the Akun powers to be like, you're a time traveler, yeah. You seem to know a lot about stuff. Are you really my age? Here we go, yeah. Someone is figuring out. But I truly wish one anime would have someone time traveling, and it could still be the same story, right? You know, trying to smash some cute girls to college, but also buying like Apple stocks. Like, why can't no one ever do that? Like, seriously, why can't that not go to be like, oh, the stock exchange, buy these stocks, yeah, Amazon. Like, why could no one ever just do that? Put all my money in Amazon, take a loan, buy more Amazon stocks. Yeah, like, there's one anime could do that, but time traveling. If I ever write the time traveling storyline, they are gonna buy stocks if they time travel, you know, to the past, or 10 years in the past, 10 years in the past. Yeah, they're gonna go and buy Microsoft, Apple, you know, Google stocks. They're gonna just buy all the tech stuff and be like rich beyond their dreams. Facebook and so on. Yeah, they're gonna be rich beyond their dreams. He's clearly in love with his chief. Come on, he's so in love with his old manager, which is bad. This is typically how many men are in love with their manager. Yeah, the female manager, classic love story, man. In love with your manager. Who hasn't been in love with your manager? I mean, yeah. But it's really nice how he's carrying her, though. It's a nice scene, yeah. He's carrying her, the blossoms of Sakura moon blossoms, right? Nice scene. A nice graphical scene. Yeah, Yoshi's very touchy woman. She likes that milk, yeah. She's always hunting that milk, man. She's always after that milk. Yeah, she's like, Yoshi, boy, oh, yeah. She's always after that milk, man. She's like, yeah, you got some milk for me, boy? Some, you know, yogurt, some thick milk. Yeah, she's always like very thirsty. They have a work. Never said that before, but I guess they have. Probably goes to his bedroom now, something stupid, yeah. She's a weirdo. Gonna see her art now. I figure that she's found the platinum. That she's a genius paint. Oh, he's gonna walk into her in the bedroom, of course. Classic anime, horror anime, right? Yeah, it's gonna, come on. It's horror anime every good time. Okay, now she's working. Damn it. But she's clearly one of the platinum members, obviously. She's a super genius artist. Like, come on, of course she's. She's a genius artist, right? Yeah. He's so destroyed by this. He's so useless. Oh no! She's an amazing artist. What have I done with my life? Yeah. Which you kept saying. Shinoaki. The word you kept saying, man. Oh wait. She's the famous artist woman that I heard about before I got here? How could this ever be? Like, she has the exact same name, basically. How couldn't they figure it out earlier? Like, Shinoaki, yeah, good job, boy. She has the name. Like, she has the name you kept saying. Oh, she's one of these characters. Oh, Shinoaki. Yeah, that's like kind of obvious. Am I the only one? That's just kind of obvious, right? Like, what else would it be? Her name is Shinoaki, man. I'm just saying, it's like, you should have figured it out before, man. Obviously, we know you're in anime, but still, like, that was kind of like, yeah, like, what is that? It's her name, right? Because that's her name, yeah. What's her name, you know? Your name, indeed. Man, my hair's all sweaty. The biggest aspect for me was seeing Island, because I haven't seen Island in any other anime, but it's from the same company, right? They made Island. And yeah, the guy is hot, so but I do love the chief, yeah. The hot, badass boss, the imposing manager, she's a cool woman, though. So I do ship them, obviously. Oh, here we go, beach episode. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, man, the ending, though. And she's all like, propping up her guy oppas there massively. Wow, the ending scene when they all just jumped and they were just like flexing their oppas. The ending scene, that was, yeah, and it's the Peggies, and I mean, you know, the ending scene. Yeah, the ending scene was just popping oppas like everywhere. Oh yeah, now they're in onsen too. Man, the ending really delivered on oppas. It really did, yeah, they were like, whoa. Respect ending, respect, yeah. They were like, how can we make it more oppas than ever? Yeah, they are, respect. They know what we wanted and gave it. Proper ending, if I've ever seen one. Yeah, but I mean, honestly, the ending was just like, here's a lot of oppas, enjoy. Yeah, and they kind of, you know, thrusted themselves forward to it, and it's like almost like weird angle. Like, come on, honestly, that was just like, let's go back and read it here, but. So you go to the beach, then the onsen too. So the ending is very, yeah. And then they're running at the first, they're running, right, and it's very detailed on the assets, right. You see the line. It's very detailed how they're running. And then then it's like this. Then they're all jumping. You're like, and it's like super oppa. They're like oppa attack. That was the highlight of the episode. That's the best part of the whole episode. We got to the ending and we see oppas is flying past. They're like, oppas attacks! Yeah! This is like a massive oppa scene. And then, of course, attacking the screen and so on. I think the biggest hype for me was seeing Island. I didn't even like the anime, but no one ever saw it except me. So you're seeing him being like, oh, I have this collection of novels. And it's like Island there. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And obviously the art she was doing is the book he has home there, yeah, and the art collection he has. Yeah, it's of course her, Shinoaki. I'm just trying to back and find the scene when he had Island in his shelf there, as you can find there. I think when he's got home earlier. Then we're gonna review this episode, everyone. Review the episode as soon as you can find the island scene. I got no girlfriend, got no money, right? Stupid game companies firing everyone. That actually was very realistic. They just like, no warning, you're all fired. Yeah, see you guys next month. Yeah, that was actually very realistic. I'm laughing at it, but it's sadly funny for me. Yeah, I was like, that's super realistic. Yeah, they're like, what, you all fired? Yeah, you know, sorry, I should have told you, whatever, it's too late. Yeah, like, yeah, we didn't know what's gonna happen, what happened, you know, yeah, like. That is unfortunately super realistic, and it's exactly in that kind of manner too. It's just like, oh yeah, like no warning. They're just like, you know, shit happens. Yeah, see you guys in your next life. You know, that is very game company. It really is. So, there's the whole idea that they're not even giving you like any warning, right? Like there's no warning. It's just like, oh yeah, so actually, by the way, everyone is unemployed now. Yeah, sorry, you know, could have told you that before, but no. But like basically, it's that it's very common, especially in the game industry, that you don't, of course. Have the warning, you know, like in some companies, right? They might tell you that, we might have to lay you off, you know, next month, this thing, right? But in game companies, very commonly, unfortunately, it can be like next day you're working, you know, normally, and next day it's like, sorry, no money anymore, everyone go, yeah, it's like that. That's very game company. I mean, it happened to me, and not just me personally, then, but like, you know, oh, this dude is closed on, yeah, basically that. So that is really crazy. Then you might have some. You know, usually gets money anyway. Yeah, usually depending on contract, depending on country and contract, they might have to pay, you know, 1 month's salary or whatever, right? Or else you can sue them and so on. So you have to pay that. But usually, you know, like if you work in like in Sweden, that I have had done to some extent, right? In Sweden, you have a lot of worker loss, so you have to still pay them. You know, it's like 1 month per year that you have worked there. So if you work like 3 years, they have to give you that 3 month, you know, severance pay, right? If you work for 2 years, it's 2 months, right? So that, for example, they have to pay you anyway, because like by law, right? But if you work like in America and USA, you usually don't have any like by law severance pay, but you can. But instead, of course, you contract that. So you might be like, well, if you make me fire me, whatever, right? Make me quit. You have to give me like say 2 months, right? Or you know, immediately or whatever. Yeah. So they usually has a kind of severance pay. That being said, if you have an actual good contract, right? If you're like the junior, you know, positioning kind of lowest rank, you're in the bottom right. If you're in the bottom, you're usually just gonna be like, you're out. Yeah, if you're in the bottom, you're gonna be screwed over massively, right? You're not gonna get anything, yeah, if you're the... Yeah, basically like that, right? But anyway, of course, she was the girl that was writing the art he has at home, one of those classic art collections. But I have a lot of, especially since, yeah, that's the reason why. I say it on the video thing, but one reason is that I work for a game company, and yeah, they got, canned by the owners, right? The owners of the game company own several companies, or different studios, whatever you call it. And yeah, they like closed 3 of them, I guess. Yeah, 3 in like the same time frame. And then we had a lot of stuff there, and we're basically gonna throw them away, basically. So my boss was like, "Oh, you wanna have this stuff? You wanna have like you wanna have this screen, or is you gonna like sell it, take it to like the the garbage?" Yeah, basically. So and so on. So one reason why I have a lot of art books, because I'm not an artist, right? One reason why I have a lot of these like game art books and so on is because yeah, I just picked them up. I got them like from working there. So I got like 30 art books from the company. Yeah, I was like, I can take them. Like nice art books with like type of Tekken. We had like Tekken collection, what Tekken art and so on. So I was like, I can take it. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. So I just took books and carried them home. Yeah, I was like, oh, 30, 40 art books. Yeah, it's free. And also, in one room we had this like PlayStation 2 games, right? Because we have different games, right? Yeah, PlayStation 4, whatever. But we had, especially there was like one room with all these, gaming consoles and so on, right? And yeah, like, they also had these old consoles, like PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 and so on, to some extent. So they had like 40, 50 PlayStation 2 games, and they were just like in some bags, there was like in some corner. Then no one ever was playing these old games, and I probably even have a few of them. But there were many crap games, but same thing here. I was like, can I just take those bags over there? And the owner was like, yeah, whatever, take them over here, throw them away. I was like, oh, nice, 50 PlayStation 2 games. I just carried them home, so I have them somewhere in that place over there in my house. Yeah, just like two and a half plastic bags of just like PlayStation 2 games. I didn't even look through them. I didn't even look through them. I just carried. I was like, oh, a lot of free games. I just carried them home, and then I haven't ever played them. Like basically all the good PlayStation 2 games that I wanna play, I already bought anyway, right back in the days, right? So I was like, I guess I can just take them. I'm not throw them away, right? So I got that and a lot of game magazines. But honestly, that's one reason why I have so many art books, because like game art books, because I took it there with that company went bankrupt basically when they fired everyone. I just took everything they had. But like that was that, or they were gonna trash them. Maybe sell. The thing is that no one actually cashed, right? Like the owners, or the boss of that company, the studio is like, he's just gonna make more money. So the company's like, I don't care about that, and no one told me to do it. They just told me to get rid of it, right? So it's like whatever, and throw them away. I just give it to people. I had one coworker that took home most of the plants. Yeah, we had a lot of plants, right? And he was like, can I do take these plants? There's this huge plant over there. It's like an expensive plant, probably cost like $500, maybe more, right? And they were like, yeah, why not? We're just gonna have to take it to the again, then right? Take it and throw it away, right? So he was like, can I just take it and go home with it? And they were like, yeah, like why not, I guess. So he was like, yeah, nice, I'm just gonna take all these plants. And I even helped him because we live pretty close. So he went with his car. And they took all these like huge, like I'm talking like big, plants, the whole shit, right? And we had to carry them into his truck, and then we, drove to his place, and I had to, to carry them into his place, because we lived almost next door anyway. So I was like, get a ride home and so on. So he took like maybe 6-7 plants. Again, I'm talking about both tiny plants, but also like massive, like a huge pot, like a massive. Like really big, this kind of office plants, right? They kind of go from the like 2, maybe even more than 2 meters, like big plants. But he's a tiny guy. He couldn't carry it. Honestly, he couldn't carry it. So I was like, okay, I gotta carry it. It's like he couldn't carry it. I mean, I won't say I was so strong. It was more he was so weak. It was more that he's like a 150. He's like a 5 feet. He's a tiny guy, like a really tiny guy. So he couldn't carry them like straight up. So I had to carry them for him basically. But yeah, I have a lot of those stories. For probably a better video than me looking at this anime. I mean, this isn't terrible. The first bit was boring though. The first bit was just pointless. It could have been so easily shortened down, right? The first like 50 minutes are basically the prologue. Something that could have been explained in like maybe 2-3 minutes. Something that maybe even could be faster explained. the important thing is that he worked for game companies and kept getting fired or kept getting shafted or whatever, and that stuff, which is very common in the game industry, as I talked about. Which I have experienced with that too, right? That they kind of canceling a studio, so which is very, very common. It's almost like you haven't really worked in the game industry if you haven't been at a studio that has been, that has been cancelled. Yeah, if you haven't worked on a game that got cancelled and your studio got everyone fired, you haven't really been in the game industry. That's kind of like the minimum. If you only work at the company, everything works, you haven't really been in the game industry. That's where you actually work in the game industry. I feel that's where you actually are a game industry guy. It's like, oh, you've been there and everyone got fired. Okay, now I feel you've been in the game industry. Yeah, like that's the actual limit of being in the game industry. No, but I think so seriously. I genuinely think so, honestly. If you haven't worked in the game industry, if you work for like 10 years in the game industry, something like that, right, you are very, very likely gonna encounter situations, right? You're very likely gonna encounter situations where they close the studio, whatever. It's super common. Like it really is. So it's almost kind of weird if you have worked in 10 years, and it depends on you work at one singular place. That's the only people that get away with it, maybe, if you work at one singular place for many years. Which usually makes them weak, though, of course. No, but seriously, so I worked for this one company, and 4 of them created this company, and they worked for the same company together for 20 years or that. And they were all meek people. No, but they were, and one reason why was they had a easier time, and suddenly they were going to run their own company, and they were like, oh, it's all about issues, and they had no experience of that crap. So that was really bad. One of the reasons why they failed, right, running their own company, because they had kind of just traveled on the easier path, honestly. But anyway, this anime, the first time in it, it's kind of idea. Like I said, I didn't hate it, right? I think it was cute. I think that, Milk Oppa Girl is cute and so on. Yeah, she's cute. But it was kind of pointless. Like the whole 15-minute stuff could have been like 40 minutes, probably even less than that. I think Chief, his manager, and now then the hardcore director, she's clearly his love interest. She's clearly the real love interest. There's no way otherwise the anime would even... Like, she's the girl, being focused on before he time travels, and then he meets her again, right? Come on, she's clearly the woman he's in love with. Like, he was in love with her when he was, before he time traveled, and here we are right now, right after he time traveled, and it's kind of like, oh man, she's here again, right? It's also, of course, very anime that he meets the girl from his past life in his new life, like anime, right? So he basically kind of, reincarnated, and she also did that, whatever you call it, but, she's also still there. So from a narrational standpoint, of course, she is the most likely candidate for him actually to end up with, right? And I feel he's really into her because he keeps thinking about how bad she is and how cool she is. He keeps fantasizing. He keeps, fantasizing about her, right? Like all the time. So, that's one thing. If he's a little funny that they kind of didn't define what he studied. He was like, I don't know, he was basically like a producer. But if he was like a game designer, or like a game artist, he probably would be a lot better at actually doing art or so on, because then you have a very similar job. So that I think is kind of strange. Like, what did he actually study? Like some engineering game production thing? So he had like 0 creative input, because I think it's interesting that he's really apparently kind of novice at everything. Like he had a dream of maybe going to art instead of going to, engineering or whatever. But then he has like no actual skills, and everyone else is so much better than him. They have all this like cool art they can do, and he's like, well, how do I do that stuff, right? And but then it also question, what did he actually do with the game companies? Was he purely use production, like I guess the least creative job? He was just a pure producer guy with 0 actual skills of anything else, and that's actually kind of uncommon, honestly, in the industry. It's quite unrealistic to some extent. Not always. You have producers sometimes that have no real actual skills. I mean in the nicest way possible, but honestly, yeah, they kind of don't really do anything else than just produce stuff. They aren't impossible to find. They truly aren't. But I think for the most part, though, you usually have a producer that also have something else, right? Like my current producer, she's like some kind of like my current producer that I work with. We had this long meeting because I'm the design lead or whatever. Yeah, so I have a lot of meetings with people. I'm like the senior. I'm like senior design lead, but my real title is like senior service consultant. Something weird, but I'm basically like the senior lead or something, senior design lead. at this job, and so I have a lot of meetings. I have like 4 or 5 hours meetings with people like all the time, just talking about what they can do as well. So I had this meeting with the production manager and the producer, right, for like 4 hours yesterday, and her backstory, I have to say, but she's kind of some kind of like used to be an elite sportwoman for that matter, and I talk a lot with her. Yeah, so I know about her life in some sense. She used to be a sport professional athlete, but with studying that, her education is something like what's it called in English, like how do you call it in English? Honestly, what is it called? The title? Some kind of like socio. I guess a kind of human researcher or some kind of like somewhat social studies, I suppose. But her degree is some kind of like master degree in like human research. Yeah, like human. How you track people. Yeah, like it's called like state economy. Kind of like not economy, but more like people behavior or something. But still focus on the state. Not like straight up, human research, but more like, something like that. So it's a little bit like, I'm not saying it's pointless education. It's a little bit, definitely, obviously good for a producer, but it's a little bit like it's not very tangible degree, right? It's like you know a lot of stuff about people, not very tangible. That's what I'm thinking. But I mean, of course, is that like her education isn't bad. I'm just saying that she probably can't do anything on her own, right? I'm not meaning in a bad way. I mean that she's like a person with a lot of knowledge, right? How people act and how you plan out stuff and how you motivate people or whatever, right? Probably can't do much on her own, right? A little bit, but still has a lot of knowledge of that at least. And he kind of feels similar. But most other producers, I think they usually come from like maybe you're a coder or something. Maybe you used to be a designer, right? And you kind of have the knowledge of like because I worked of course with some production and management several times too. So I'm like, well, I know what they can do because I work with art, I work with this thing, I know what they can do, right? So you kind of know what they're doing, you kind of know the limit and so on. But yeah, so that to me is strange, honestly. He has like 10 years of game experience, working in game companies, but he seems to have. The thing is that the woman talking about now, she's coming from another angle, right? She worked for like the government and so on for many years. She doesn't really have like a game experience, you know what I mean? But he has like 10 years game production experience, something like that, but yet he has no skills whatsoever, like no creative skills. That's very uncommon. Like usually game producers have usually been like, game artist or game designer or something, or maybe code, but usually code people usually want to be leaders, but something like that, yeah. Some art background, but this guy is like completely incompetent to some extent, right, on his actual arting. I don't think I feel it's unrealistic. That's kind of my complaint about it. I feel it's unrealistic. I feel it's like, I don't think that's very reasonable that he will work 10 years in the game industry and yet end up with having no actual tangible skills for, art and so on. That I don't buy that. I don't buy that whatsoever. So obviously I don't like that. But otherwise, though, as I said, it's not like I actually think that he's like supposed to be, that he has to be good at it. So I do like it otherwise. If you ignore the unrealistic setup, that like, what did he do in 10 years? Did he only like sort folders for 10 years? It feels like he was like doing this stuff for 10 years. He sorted folders. It's like, okay, I'm a folder sorter. Like he was like Excel guy for 10 years. I don't know. It seems pretty boring, but it doesn't seem like a typical game job. But anyway, if you ignore that and go to the current time, I do like it though that he's like actually kind of incompetent to the extent that he actually might know some art, right? But everyone else is like really good at it. He's just shit. I'm just like I thought I was a good artist, but actually everyone else is just really good. And I'm this loser. I can barely do I can barely do Hello World in Paint. Yeah, it's like, oh man, someone got the reference. You can barely do Hello World, right? But in Paint, that seems to be his thing. Like he's all depressed there. I like that actually. I do like it. That's interesting. He's like a failure. He's like, I mean, he isn't a failure, but he feels like a failure because everyone else around him are so good at this stuff. They're so talented, right? Like she's the actual, she's the actual master. The person he was impressed by, as 20 years later, right? person, he was really thinking like, wow, she's an artist, she's a masterful artist. And he sees that right, of course, gets all depressed, and then he sits, and then he's like, shit, man, I can't be an artist. They're all much better than me. So ignoring the realism of it, because I don't really buy it, right? I mean, I almost never met any game producers that are just have no art skills or whatever. Or if they don't have art skills, then they would be maybe really good, coders. But usually not, because it's more common that they have art or design skills, right? Because coders, as I mentioned earlier, rarely wants to be like the leads, right? Yeah, it's hard getting, in my experience, very hard getting a good lead coder, because while they might know the code and so on, code people generally, of course I'm generalizing, but code people generally are not that good at it. You're not very good people skills, right? So it's very hard to find people that are good coders and also have good interpersonal skills. It's very uncommon. Yeah, I said in a very nice way there. Yeah, it's very uncommon finding those people in reality, but it really is. They are very uncommon. Very uncommon finding good, programmers with with interpersonal skills. But it's just really uncommon. So it's kind of what I'm thinking when I see the anime. Like, well, yeah, sure, but there's a little bit of when I see the anime. I'm just like, yeah, I guess, but. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be a game producer or artist kind of guy, right? Before too, so he should be have more skills. But anyway, ignoring the issue of the obviously, otherwise I like it. Yeah, if you ignore the actual. Now I'm just looping. My brain is. This is so hot here. I'm sorry. I'm just looping the same point here. Obviously, the point is that if you ignore, my point is that if you ignore the prologue, which was boring too for that matter, if you ignore that stuff right there and just focus on the current events, he went back in time, and instead of going to production engineering school, he went to art school, and then he realized that everyone's better than him at doing art, and he sucks at it, or it's more that he might not suck, but everyone is amazing, he's like a normal guy. So I do like that though. But otherwise, the episode was honestly pretty stale. For 50 minutes, very little happened, right? Very little happened in 50 minutes. So it's like, man, this stream video is super long now, but I felt that nothing barely happened, guys. And yeah, like what am I doing here? Shadow House ending soon. It's probably out in about 10 minutes. We're gonna watch that. And we're gonna watch, obviously we're gonna watch Realistic Hero. That is gonna be out, I think, in half an hour from now. So, and then what, Revenge out in 1 hour? That has to be wrong. But yeah, so I'll see you guys soon with Shadow House. We should be out now, but it's delayed maybe a little bit. Let me see. Last week it was out. So, not that version. Okay, Shadow House in 30 minutes then. Will be fine enough, I guess. But yeah, what do you think, guys? I kind of ran for a long bit here now, but I feel, the episode, I wish there was more actually focused on game stuff, right? I don't know. It just could have been so much more, but I think they could easily cut away the first quarter, right? Yeah, you could easily remove the first 50 minutes, and the anime probably better too, because that was probably the most. I mean, it was, they all got fired. It's actually very realistic, I suppose, though. And he got tired of being a game developer. But that's what I mean. He kind of could have started basically at that moment. He kind of could have started with him just getting fired. Like, at first minute, it seemed like, I'm a game producer, bam, you're fired. Oh, what? And this hot manager is like, sorry, shit happens. And he's like, what's happening? Right? That's almost kind of how it could have started, almost, right? It would have been basically the same story, but it would be less, less like feeling out, pacing in the first 10 minutes. Or even more than that.